Hey there, you made it, and that's enough. Even slow healing is still healing. This story is for the parts of you still tender. So take your time and let's begin. The Mirror Keeper, a story about rediscovering who you truly are. Chapter 1. The Woman in the Corner Shop. Tucked between a noisy café and a forgotten post office in the town of Chandrapura, stood a small, dusty shop. Its windows were fogged, the wooden sign above half broken. The only visible word was reflections. Few people entered it. Most assumed it was just an old furniture shop, or maybe one of those places that sold antiques nobody needed. But those who did step inside never forgot it, because behind the counter stood Savitri Aunty, a frail woman in her 70s with silver hair, deep brown eyes, and a voice like soft rain. And in her store were mirrors, dozens of them, tall, wide, round, ancient, carved, no two the same. But none of them reflected what you expected. Chapter 2. The Soldier. The first story the town still speaks of was about a man named Karan, a war veteran with scars on his face and pain in his eyes. He walked into the shop one evening, needing a mirror for his new apartment. Savitri said nothing. She just led him to a corner mirror, tall and simple. Karan looked into it. But what he saw wasn't his tired, wounded self. It was a younger version, eyes wide open, smiling, holding a paintbrush. He gasped. "That's me, from when I was 16? Savitri nodded. "What you once were, you still are, underneath." He bought that mirror, not for his apartment, but for his healing. Chapter 3. The Mother. A few months later, Reena, a young mother of 2, stumbled in during a rainy afternoon. Her eyes were swollen, her clothes were soaked. She whispered, "I don't know who I am anymore. I don't recognize myself." Savitri handed her a small hand mirror. She hesitated, then looked. She didn't see her tired face or the stretch marks or the stress. She saw a glowing light behind her chest, her heart beating like a drum, full of love, full of life. She wept. "I forgot I mattered too." Savitri gave her the mirror for free. Chapter 4. Whispers spread. Word traveled. People came, not just for mirrors, but for truth. A rich businessman saw that his eyes, though powerful, were empty. A teenager saw herself dancing confidently, something she'd never dared to do. A teacher who doubted his worth saw all the lives he had shaped in quiet. Savitri never advertised, never explained how the mirrors worked. When asked, she would smile and say, "These mirrors don't show you how you look. They show you what the world made you forget." Chapter 5. The Mirror That Didn't Reflect. One day, a boy named Ane, quiet and withdrawn, entered. He looked at mirror after mirror, but none showed anything. No reflection at all. He panicked. "Why can't I see myself?" Savitri walked up and said, "Because you've never allowed yourself to exist. You've lived to please, to obey, to survive, not to feel, not to be." She placed a small plain mirror in his hands and said, "This one will take time. You'll need to sit with it. Not to look, but to listen." Weeks later, Ane returned. This time his eyes shone. He said, "I finally saw, not what I wanted to be, but who I already am." Chapter 6. The Final Reflection. As years passed, Savitri grew weaker. Her shop stayed open, but she rarely stood. One day, a little girl brought her flowers and asked, "Why do your mirrors work like magic?" Savitri gently took a small piece of glass from under the counter. It was cracked, but still bright. She said, "Because people forget that they are not broken, just buried." She died in her sleep that winter, but the shop remained. The shop of remembering. Today, Reflections is a community-run space. People donate stories, photos, poems. The mirrors are still there, untouched, and still, strangely alive. Every time someone feels lost, they visit the shop. And above the doorway, carved in wood, are her words. "You were never missing, just unseen. Look deeper." Story moral. We often forget our own worth in the noise of life. Sometimes what we need isn't to change, but to remember who we are. True healing begins not with answers, but with honest reflection. Thank you for showing up, for this story, and for yourself. Your journey matters. Your healing matters. You matter. I can't wait to see you again right here in this gentle space.